So good morning again. I'm recording again, guys. So we'll get started here in a few minutes. Yesterday we looked at a couple of things. We kind of finished up fact and opinion. That was super fun, right?
Yeah.
And we moved on to pronouns. So let's finish the pronouns, do it at a different level, and see if we can't. You guys will help me out with that. Then we're going to move to one that I admittedly have less of a skill set in than I want to admit, is adjectives and adverbs. So we're going to try our best to get through the adjectives and adverbs section. Make sure I got everyone. I got Brian, David, Kyle, Tatiana, and Raven, I assume, right? Let's screen share real quick. All right, so let's go to IXL. Okay, let's try here. Gotta log in. Can you see this, guys?
Yes.
All right. So we're not doing math. You could do that with your math teacher. We're going to do our IXL language arts. Bump it up from 3rd to 6th. Let's see if we can do 6th grade pronouns. It's going to be a blast from the past, okay? Grammar mechanics, pronouns, 5 sections. Let's do a couple of each, okay?
Okay.
All right, so we're identifying pronouns and their antecedents. So select a pronoun whose antecedent is your tongue. So what they're talking about when they say antecedent is, what is the pronoun talking about, okay? Your tongue.
What's it doing?
Yeah, what's it doing? Your tongue does far more than just help you eat. It is also an important organ used in the production of language. Which one are we talking about here? We can look at an example first. So let's look at the example. At the age of 23, Jane Goodall took her first trip to Africa. At 26, Jane Goodall returned to Africa to study chimpanzees. So we're looking at the antecedent, and the solution is the pronoun her replaces Jane Goodall, okay? At the age of, so you could say, took her first. That's what we're getting at, okay? So let's go back to regular. Your tongue does far more than just help you eat. It is also an important organ used in the production of language. So what we're talking about when we're talking about your tongue, what can we substitute that for? It.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say it too.
Okay. Let's try. We're going to mess around with a couple of these. The musicians in that band are highly talented, but talent alone won't be enough to succeed in the music business. They will need plenty of luck. So the musicians in that band, what is the antecedent?
Hey.
I'm sorry, that the musicians in the band is the antecedent. This is the pronoun. Okay, so we want to get that clear. I said that backwards. So the music in the band, the musicians in that band, that's the antecedent, which talks about they, which is the pronoun. You got it. Zachary and I meant to buy oranges, but they turned out to be tangerines. I guess we both think that oranges and tangerines look the same. What do you guys think?
We.
What's that substitution? We. All right, awesome. Yeah. Now, how do you confuse oranges and tangerines? They're like way different sizes.
Yeah.
Schooners were once the most important ships in North America, but by 1800, they were only really used for coastal trade and fishing. Okay, so schooners, what's the substitute we could use there?
Hey.
Somebody said they?
They.
Yeah.
Perfecto. Great job. Although Madeline and I were impressed with the performance, so now we're looking at select the antecedent. So select what the substitution is for we, the pronoun. We were shocked at the cost of the tickets. So what are we replacing with we?
The names. Madeline and I.
Perfect. Madeline and I is the we. That's the antecedent for the pronoun qui. Tomorrow, the detective and I will turn over all of our evidence to the authorities. So we're looking at which pronoun describes the antecedent, the detective and I. Our, yeah. Very, very good. I think we almost mastered this one. The librarian and I searched everywhere for the missing dictionary, but we couldn't find it anywhere. What's the substitution for we, or what are we substituting with we?
The librarian and I.
Bingo bango, we got it. Very, very good. All right, we're going to go to the next one. We are going to number 2, use the pronoun that agrees with the antecedent, okay? So we're looking at completing the sentence with the pronoun that agrees with the word in bold. Okay, so let's look at this one. When Hillary Rodham Clinton was elected United States Senate in 2000, what would it be? Blank became, is it her or she became the only first name?
She.
Yeah, so it is bam, she. How you like that? We got it. Okay, so we are going back to practicing. So throughout her career, Connie Chung forged new territory as a reporter and new anchor. Chung's hard work earned blank many awards, including 3 Emmy Awards.
Her.
Let's see if you got that. Well, I gotta not do it all capped.
What?
Yeah, I wrote it in all capital letters, like a goofball. I had cap locks on accident. Professor Smith is an astronomer at the University of Chicago. She invited us to visit blank and look through the telescopes at the Yerkes Observatory. Invited. So we're describing Professor Smith. She invited us to visit
Him.
her, I think, because we can assume that she.
Oh, yes. Oops.
Yeah, but you're right. If it was Mr. Smith, it would be him.
Yeah.
Great job. Milton Bradley did not just create board games. His interest in learning made blank a pioneer in the field of childhood education. We're describing Milton Bradley.
Him.
Somebody said it. Him. Okay?
Yep.
Referring back to Milton Bradley. When Jane and I stayed home on Friday night, blank did our laundry and watched a movie, referring to Jane and I. What's the substitution we can use? The substitution, all right.
We.
We, yes. We did our laundry. Sounds like a fun day. In 2000, swimmer Michael Phelps competed in blank first Olympics. By 2012, he had won 22 medals, the most of any Olympic athlete in history.
His first Olympics.
He almost typed in her Olympics.
I almost typed in her, but you saw it. Next one. Philosopher John Dalton is credited with developing our modern theory of atoms. Dalton proposed that blank make up atoms, and make up elements and combine to form chemical compounds. We're describing or we're substituting atoms. We're trying to create a pronoun for that.
Them?
Yes. Dalton proposed that they, not them, that they make. You have the same idea though. Rock pigeons, that sounds fun, are commonly found nesting on window ledges in buildings today, but blank were first introduced to the Americas by the early European settlers. We're describing rock pigeons. They are
Rock pigeons.
They?
they or them.
Them. I mean, they.
Yeah, perfect. I was gonna say.
I don't think they'll stay long on ledges
Yeah,
if that's their name.
I hear you. We just did this one. She,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
That's right. Pablo Saraste became very wealthy as a famous violin player. After blank long career, he left most of his money to Pamplona, Spain, the town in which he grew up. After whose long career?
Is
His.
In this.
Yes. All right. So let's move on to, we're going to Z3, baby.
Z3, huh?
Okay, so we're identifying vague pronoun references. They rejected the students' petition to start classes half hour later. School officials rejected the students' petition to start classes half an hour later. And we are looking at the they, which refers to who? School officials. Okay, so let's try this. Which of the following contains a vague pronoun reference? Alice and her sister posed for a photograph, but when the flash went off, Alice blinked. Alice and her sister posed for a photograph, but when the flash went off, she blinked.
She.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see if it's she. Good work.
Yep.
Bam. Florence and Siena have beautiful cathedrals. While visiting cathedrals, Miranda took hundreds of pictures. Florence and Siena have beautiful cathedrals. While visiting them, Miranda took hundreds of pictures. Which one is it? The one that has the vague pronoun.
I think it's them.
Yeah, so it's the one with them, because you have cathedrals here and can't have cathedrals here, and you substitute that with the pronoun them. Keep it up, Buttercup. They explained to the audience that a muskrat looks like a small beaver with a rat-like tail. The park rangers explained to the audience that a muskrat looks like a small beaver with a rat-like tail. So the difference here is they explained or the park rangers explained. Which one is the vague?
They.
Bam, they. Who are you talking about? Ken, did you ask the nurse if the flu vaccination is available yet? Ken, did you ask them if the flu vaccination is available yet? Which one? We have the difference between did you ask them or did you ask the nurses? Which one? Them, yeah. Speaking of vaccination, if you guys checked out, I sent you guys an email about looking at that Netflix Coronavirus Explained. I would check that out. They have like over 90 different vaccinations that are going through the process of becoming real vaccinations. So that's pretty crazy. All right, let's do one more. Researchers have proven that African violets prefer an environment with a temperature that stays between 65 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. They have proven that African violets prefer an environment with a temperature that stays between 65 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Is it researchers or they? But the
They?
vague pronoun. Sweet. One more, guys. One more. Actually, two more, isn't there? We got to do the possible. We're looking at all possible antecedents, which are what is being substituted by the pronoun. So for her, all possible ones, we're talking about Olivia, Kate, and Jill are organizing a bake sale to raise money for her trip to Kenya this summer. It's not a really good sentence, but which is this describing? Which possibilities could they be describing? The hers. So we're looking for female names.
The names, Olivia, Kate, and Jill.
Yes. Let's see. All right. Cross our fingers. Super duper. All right. My cousins are staying with Chus. I guess that's a name. Not the Hardens. Their house is near ours, but it's on the other side of the highway. So, whose house could they possibly be?
My cousins.
So we're talking about my cousin staying somewhere, and we're describing their house. It's probably
So Chess
and
the Hardens.
Let's see. Let's cross fingers. Here we go. Oops, we got it wrong. It is you. You added the other one too. Let's see why. So the there could be my cousins, the Chusses, and the Hardens. Very interesting. See? All right. Bill can get a ride to the construction site with Dad or Grandpa. If he gets, so we're looking for all could be described by he.
So Dad, Grandpa, and Bill.
Yeah, Dad, Grandpa, Bill. Let's see if we've got it. Good work. Bessie Coleman and Amelia Earhart were both talented aviators in the 1920s, but she faced more obstacles during her career. She can describe who?
Amelia Earhart and Bessie.
Oh, Bessie. Let's see if we got it. Well done. Good. George Gershwin studied piano with Charles Hambitzer and composition with Henry Cowell. His older brother, Ira, wrote the lyrics for many of his compositions. So we're looking at everything that describes his.
George and Charles.
And
Henry.
And Henry. These are all the possibilities. These are funny sentences.
Yeah.
The weird exercise. All right, so we're going to Z number 5.
Z number 5, huh?
Z number 5. All right, finding incorrect pronoun and type it correctly. So we are looking at, let's look at the example. Pilots should carefully check every control in the cockpit before you request permission for takeoff. We are changing you to they, okay? Pilots should carefully check every control in the cockpit before they request permission for takeoff, okay? Okay, for protection, the medieval castles often had moats and tall, thick walls surrounding it. So instead of it should be what?
Castles.
Well, what's the pronoun for medieval castles? It is just singular. You know, medieval castles has an S at the end, so it's plural.
Castle.
Surrounding, not it, but them.
Wow.
A career in journalism can be incredibly rewarding despite its demands. News correspondents may not enjoy the long hours and frequent travel, but you get the satisfaction of bringing groundbreaking stories to the public. So we're describing news correspondence, but it shouldn't be you. It should be what?
Them.
Them or, but they.
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 Yeah. Let's see. Super duper. Great.
Super duper.
A prune is a small dried plum, with wrinkled skin. They can be used in cooking and make both savory and sweet dishes. Instead of, we're talking about a prune, so we're talking about one. And when we say they, it's plural, so it should be, instead of they, it should be
it.
Yes. All right, one more. Candidates for the job will make a good impression if you are knowledgeable about the company's products and services. So we're describing candidates and they're using the word you for the pronoun. It shouldn't be you. Candidates is plural, so it should be
them.
if they, let's read that. Candidates for the job will make a good impression if they are knowledgeable, not them. Perfect. All right, so we are going to hit pause on that and go to this section right here. A quick little review of adjectives and adverbs. I have to admit, actually, let me stop sharing for a second. All right, so adjectives and adverbs, I have to admit, they are not my favorite. I find these to be more challenging than I would like to admit, but there's something, and you might have something on that big list of list of skill sets for grammar that you feel the same way about. It's totally okay. I think practice is kind of the nature of the beast here, and that's what we're trying to do with this. So we're going to go over adjectives and adverbs. I got a little mini PowerPoint. I have, I think, literally 5 or 6 attachments that I'll add. So we have plenty of time to do adjectives and adverbs, like I said, or maybe you were not aware. But I will be keeping everybody on for the remainder of remainder of June and into July and the first week of August. And then I'll take everybody off IXL and Newsy LA, okay? So you are gonna have access to all of the software products that you've been using, you guys especially been using for hours and hours and hours, okay? And you'll be able to do that over the rest of the summer. Sound good?
Yes.
Everybody seems so excited. Did you not have your coffee?
I don't drink coffee.
Well, then how do you wake up?
I'm gonna just have water. That's all.
That's it.
But I don't drink coffee. Promise. Coffee has a lot of caffeine.
Yeah, that's why I drink it.
I'm glad you do, but I'm not really a coffee person.
All right, so let's look at this one real quick.
I've used the new Wix logo maker to create one for my startup.
I have not.
I'll show you how.
Bam, skip it. All
Yes,
these ads.
that.
You can see it, right, guys?
Grammar are known as parts of speech. The 2 most important parts of speech are nouns and verbs. A noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. Student, school, book, topic. A verb expresses action or state of being. Run, study, read, is. Nouns and verbs are the foundation of a sentence. You can't have a complete sentence without at least one of each.
That's pretty true, right?
The student studied.
Yeah.
The book is interesting. But of course, not every sentence is that simple. In good writing,
We got to make
you
it
need
more
to use
complex.
descriptive language to best convey facts and ideas.
So basically, all of your adjectives, adverbs are describing something. They make your sentences, I guess, more interesting and more complex.
Mm-hmm.
That's where these next 2 parts of speech really come in handy. Adjectives and adverbs. Adjectives and adverbs add levels of description to a sentence by modifying, supporting, and strengthening other words. But it's important to know the difference between the 2. An adjective is a word that modifies and describes a noun.
So adjectives only modify nouns. So if we go back to person, place, or thing, or idea, something that modifies that. And you're going to give some examples.
That means adjectives are always modifying people, places, things, or ideas. An angry student, a large school.
And I always think of it, got to ask ourselves a question. What kind of a student? Angry. How big is the school? Large.
Thick,
I would say
an
huge.
interesting idea.
What kind of an idea? Interesting. What kind of a book? A thick red book.
Angry, large, thick, red, and interesting are all adjectives because they help us better understand each of those nouns.
Yeah.
Adjectives can convey emotion, size, color, quality, and more. Adverbs are similar in that they also modify and describe, but here's the catch. Adverbs never modify nouns.
Adverbs don't ever modify nouns. Okay?
Adverbs are always used to describe verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs.
This is where it's a little confusing. So they modify verbs, so action words, adjectives themselves, and other adverbs, which describe or modify nouns.
Let's look at some examples.
Here's some.
The student very angrily slammed the door. A rather large school. An extremely thick red book. An incredibly interesting idea. Very, angrily, rather, extremely, and incredibly are all adverbs. Angrily shows the emotion behind.
The student very angrily. How angrily? Angrily slammed. Slammed is the verb. How did they slam it? Very angrily slammed. Okay. A rather large school. Okay. An extremely thick book.
Student's action. Very tells us the degree to which that action was angry. Rather tells us that the school is large to a great or considerable extent. Extremely suggests the book is exceptionally thick. Incredibly helps show the extent to which the idea is interesting. Many words take on different forms depending on their job in the sentence. Anger is a noun referring to the emotion of being angry. Angry is an adjective used to describe a person who has anger. Angrily is an adverb used to describe the actions of an angry person. It helps to remember that adverbs often, but do not always, end in ly.
So look for the
Quickly,
LYs, my
fortunately,
friend.
Sadly, happily.
See the LYs quickly. Okay.
Yeah.
We ran very quickly.
Have a descriptive ly word. Double check yourself to make sure that it's not modifying a noun. For example, I have a happily dog.
Does that make any sense?
No.
Sentence does not make sense because it is using an adverb to modify a noun, dog. You want to use an adjective instead.
Like happy.
I have a happy dog.
Happy dog.
If you were describing action, you would want an adverb. The dog happily licked my face.
Ew.
Using the incorrect part of speech often changes the meaning of your sentence. Let's look at an example. I feel badly. Using the adverb badly means we are modifying the action, feel, suggesting the speaker is bad at feeling or feels ineffectively. It's much more likely that the speaker wants to express that his or her emotional state is bad. In that case, the sentence should read, I feel bad. Bad is an adjective. It modifies the speaker, I, so we know that the speaker is bad, not the way he or she feels. Another thing to keep in mind is that some descriptive words remain the same whether they are being used as adjectives or adverbs. I enjoy my daily morning jog. I jog daily. Daily is used to describe the jog as an event, noun, or an action, verb. Here are just some of the words that usually stay the same no matter what kind of word they describe. So let's review. The kind of word you are modifying tells you whether you need to use an adjective or an adverb. If you're describing a noun, use an adjective. If you are describing a verb, adjective, or another adverb, use an adverb. Adverbs often end in ly, so that can be a helpful way to identify them. If you're ever unsure about the spelling or job of a word, just check the dictionary.
Or ask Siri.
Just check the dictionary then.
Or ask my friend Siri.
Yeah.
All right, let's look real quick. I do want to show you. Say what?
I like that one. I like that one. Ask Shirley. Good one, Turner. I like
Yeah, just
that.
ask Siri. She'll tell you. So,
Yeah,
real
ask
quick,
Siri. Right.
this is a quick, I'm going to actually, so I will give you guys this adjective and adverb PowerPoint. It's super quick, super easy. So we're looking at adjectives. Adjectives describe or modify nouns specifically, okay? So literally nouns we're talking about. A noun, the example is shoes. Whoops, went too fast. Whoop, all right. His shoes are red. What color are they?
Red.
Oh,
Yes.
red.
Okay. There are 3 shoes. How many shoes? 3.
Three.
Okay. The shoes are shiny. What are the shoes? They are
Honey.
shiny. Super, super awesome. And we're talking about adverbs. Adverbs describe and modify verbs. Okay. Adjectives and adverbs themselves. Okay.
Yes.
Look at me underlining things. Isn't that wonderful? He ran quickly. How did they run? How did he run?
Quickly.
Quickly. He ran very quickly. How did he run?
Very
quickly. She is really busy. How busy is she?
Really busy.
Really busy. Oops. She is not worried. Who's not worried? She is
Not worried.
More about adverbs. A lot of adverbs, again, use ly, underlining. Quick turns to quickly, beautiful, beautifully, sneak, sneakily, expensive, expensively. All right. Here's some irregular adverbs. We're talking about good. Your adjective is good, turns to well. Your adjective is fast, turns to fast, which is exactly the same. Little, little, and hard, hard.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Moving on, we're going to practice some of these, okay? We are looking for, what are we doing here? The mean teacher angrily calls the parents. So we are, actually, let's do some practice outside of this. So I'm stopping sharing. I'll show you what else I'm going to give you guys. I'm going to give you, all right, so we'll give you this. This is a worksheet on a lot of these. If you read the sentence, we'll do a couple of these. The student wanted to finish her homework quick or quickly. Which would it be?
Quickly.
Quickly. Todd walked very sneakily down the hallway. Sneaky. The student was in such a hurry that she did bad or badly on the assignment.
Badly.
Yeah. And then we have another one here where you're going to do a very similar thing. My classmate is a nice person or a nicely person.
Nice
person. We know a person is a person, place, or thing. That's a noun, so that's describing. That's an adjective. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can speak Spanish very good or well.
Well.
Very good. You speak well. Katrina took a painting class so she can paint beautiful or beautifully pictures.
Beautiful.
Beautiful describes pictures or modifies pictures. What kind of pictures? They were beautiful. Then I will also give you this. This is another practice where we have adjectives, adverbs, they modify verbs, adjectives and adverbs, and adjectives modify nouns and pronouns. Okay? And we will go through some of these. The house looked empty or emptily?
Empty.
Empty. Okay. Jason pitched wild or wildly?
Wild.
Pitched wildly. Okay. The choir sang good or well?
Well.
Yes, sang well. I guess I could do this. Looked empty. Next one. Those hills look beautiful or beautifully?
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yes. Very good. So, all right. I'm going to stop sharing, but I still care. Sharing is caring. Let's go back here. Adjectives, adverbs. We're going to go to IXL. Going to learn, do some learning. Go to language arts. We're going to look at third. Going down to grammar. Pronouns, types and verbs. We already did some of those. We are looking at our adjectives and adverbs. This section, let's practice. Why not, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we are looking at does the adjective tell you what kind or how many? Look at the adjective in bold. Does it tell what kind or how many? And this is the example. It says, she smells the yellow rose. Does it say what kind or how many?
What kind?
What kind? It's a yellow rose, not how many. Okay. So there is one cookie left. Are we looking at how many or what kind?
How many?
Yes, how many? Bingo. Excellent. The color that is a colorful costume. What kind or how many?
What kind?
Perfect. All right. 3 friends laughed together. Are we looking at how many or what kind?
How many?
How many?
Yeesh. Very good. Dad used a sharp tool. What kind or how many?
What kind?
Bingo. A hand has 5 fingers. What kind or how many?
How many?
Yes.
Keep
Look
it up.
at
Up, up.
Look at the beautiful ocean. What kind or how many?
What kind of ocean?
Thank you. Sit in
You're
the
welcome.
comfortable chair. What kind or how many?
What kind?
We are just kicking butt. Next one. Billy is a great friend. What kind or how many?
What kind?
What kind of friend he
kind?
is? Billy's a great friend. Next one. I've been there 4 times. What kind? How many?
How many?
Yeah. All right. So the happy boy sings. What kind or how many?
What kind?
Sweet. See, we're already 68. We're gonna go
Oh,
down. So number 2, adjective adverb. We're identifying the adjective that describes the noun. So we're looking for the noun, and then what describes or what modifies, what changes, what helps us understand that noun a little better. So I will buy 6 tickets. We know I and tickets is
6.
The noun. So we're looking for one that tells how many. How many
6.
tickets? 6. Bingo.
6.
Now we're looking for what kind. He has a black beard. What kind of beard?
Black.
Beard.
He is a short boy. What kind of boy?
Short.
He's a little bit short. The loud rooster startled him. What kind of rooster?
Loud.
Loud rooster.
Yes. How many? I'm sorry. The woman completed 3 puzzles. We're looking for how many?
3.
Yes, 3 puzzles. Very good. Look at the beautiful butterflies. What kind of butterflies?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. You got it.
Nice.
Give Judy 2 blankets. How many?
2.
Oh,
Very good. Grab the long rope. What kind of rope?
long rope.
Long rope. Very good. 7 cups are missing. How many cups are missing?
7.
7. Ted is eating a fresh apple for breakfast. Okay. What kind of apple?
Fresh.
It's fresh, baby. All right. That was quick. So let's go to number 2. We're identifying the adjectives. Again, they modify
That's
now.
number 3 you just clicked on.
What did I say?
You said number. You just You said number 2, but you're on number 3.
Oh, you're always trying to help me out there. I messed up, man. I'm sorry. Now we're looking for select the adjective. So get under
Identify adjectives.
so we're looking first for the noun and how it is modified, okay? Get under the warm blanket. Where's our noun?
No, blanket.
Blanket. So what type of blanket is it?
Warm.
Warm. Very good. We saw some buffaloes. We and buffalo, well, I guess we is your pronoun, but buffaloes is your noun. What type of buffaloes?
Some buffaloes.
Or I'm sorry, how many buffaloes? Somehow.
It didn't say how many buffaloes.
It just says some. I guess some is
Yeah, kind of.
Grandma has gray hair. So we have grandma and we have hair, but which
Gray.
we have what type of hair? Gray. Right?
Gray.
Super. Dean has 4 brothers. How many?
4.
4 brothers. He's a brother man. All people need sleep. All people need sleep. How many people?
All.
All of the people, which tells how many. The purple dress fits her. What type of dress?
Purple.
Purple. It's purple. The tree has many blossoms. How many blossoms?
Many.
Many. Next one. Look at the tiny ant. What type of ant is it?
Tiny.
Tiny.
By the park, there are several houses with white fences. What type of fences?
White fences.
White.
Incomplete answer.
Oh, we're looking for 2. By the park, there are several houses with white fences. So fences,
Several.
type of fences, white. Several. Several has to do with how many houses. Very good. The cold rain fell for three days. How many days?
3.
What type of
And
rain?
cold.
Four.
Yes. We're starting to get this, I think. Monica and Amanda have visited 5 states. How many states?
5.
5.
Yes. All right. So,
Of
11 answer.
72.
Bam. Let's look at number 4. Number 4. Does the adverb, which modifies adjectives, verbs, and other adverbs, tell you how, when, or where? Okay. He secretly took the candy.
How?
How did he do it? Secretly. The flag waved above. Is that when or where?
That's where.
Yes.
Where?
The sailor headed west. Is that when and where or where?
Where?
That's where.
Where? It rained today. Is that when or where?
Oh, when?
Yes. The woman spoke quietly. Is that how or where?
How?
How did she speak? She spoke quietly. Albert speaks next. Is that when or where? When does he speak? Next. A dog barks somewhere. How or where?
Where?
Where does a dog bark? Somewhere. Oops, you gotta submit something. You gotta click something, guys. Dash forward and tag someone on the other team.
When?
When?
When? Dash
Where?
forward. Yeah, so it's telling you where to dash.
Yeah.
Mr. Rudd drove terribly but didn't crash the car. How did he drive?
Terribly. You just gave us the answer.
He woke late and had breakfast at noon.
When?
When? Yes. When did he do it? Where? Chase held the prize and smiled proudly. Does that tell me when or how? Proudly.
How?
Very good.
Oh.
Getting all them items. Identify some adverbs. So we're looking for a verb.
Be right back.
What is it modified? What modifies it? So the sailors headed, again, we're looking at selecting the verb that tells about, adverb that tells about the verb in bold. So the sailors headed west. Where did they head?
West.
Okay, she speaks shyly. How does she speak?
Shyly.
Shyly, very good. You got it. When or how? Okay, Sophia reads often. When does she read or how does she read?
Often.
Yeah. The magic show finished early. When did the magic show finish?
Early.
Very good.
Really?
Where does a dog bark?
Somewhere.
I'm sorry, a dog barks somewhere. Where does, I was reading the hint. Somewhere. Next one. The wind blew south. Where did the wind blow?
South.
Solve.
They appeared suddenly.
Suddenly.
When did they appear? Suddenly.
Suddenly.
Ariana dashed forward. Where did she dash? Or
Forward.
forward. Very good. Kristen bats next. When does she bat?
Next.
Next.
Very, very good. The woman spoke quietly. When did she speak? Or how did she
Quietly.
speak? Very good. Emily wrote poorly with a broken finger. How did she write?
Poorly.
Really?
Well, that makes sense. You break your finger, ain't right.
Yes.
All right. We are choosing between adjectives and adverbs. Okay. Remember, your adverbs are usually ly. So Todd yawned and sleepy or sleepily rubbed his eyes.
Eat sleepily.
Yes, very good. Will Mrs. Brady be driving to work at the usual or usually time?
Usual.
Yes, because we're
Usual.
person, place, or thing. We have an adjective describing that. The eager or eagerly fans look forward to the start of the baseball season. Eager or eagerly fans?
Eager.
Eager.
Yeah. I gotta select something. Next one. The young child, curious or curiously watched his goldfish swim in the bowl. What do you guys think?
Curious.
The young child curious watched or curiously watched.
Oh, curiously watched.
Yeah, that makes just a little better sense. Mrs. Beasley carefully or careful lifted the glass bowl onto the top shelf.
Carefully.
Yes,
Carefully.
she did that how? She lifted it how? Carefully. My father's fresh or freshly bred tasted delicious with the homemade soup. We're describing bread. Is it fresh bread or is it freshly bred?
French bread.
Fresh. Very good. Next one. Did the Army make secret or secretly plans during the war?
Secret.
Secret. Next one. Mrs. Spencer is close or closely friends with a famous TV star.
Close.
She's close friends.
Close friends.
Carson studied serious or seriously for the history test.
Seriously.
Because studied is a verb and we're describing the verb, it's got to be seriously. Careful or carefully read all the directions for building the model.
Carefully.
Yeah, super duper. All right. I spoke Spanish bad or badly at first, but I got better with time.
Badly.
Brilliant. All right, sweet. Now we're having to identify, this is where it gets a little tricky. We're having to identify if it's an adjective, which again only modifies a noun, or it's an adverb, which could be modifying a verb, adjective, or another adverb, okay? The woman quickly grabbed a sandwich after work. The underlined
Adjective?
word is what's being modified. Quickly grabbed. Is grabbed an action word? It is a verb.
It's an action word.
So it's got to be an adjective.
It's
I'm
an
sorry,
That's an adverb.
I'll get it right. Keep it up.
There you go.
The shy little girl is quiet around strangers. What type of girl? Shy.
Shy.
Is girl a adjective or an adverb?
Uh,
So the word in
Adjective.
bold describes the word in underline. Shy girl. That's
Action.
an adjective because girl is a person, place, or thing. Did we get it? Brilliant. This is the fourth time I've explained the directions. Time is a person, place, or thing, right? So it has
Right.
to be an adjective. How many times? My fourth time.
4.
Please put all the papers into a neat pile. Here's your pile. Pile's a person, place, or thing. It has to be.
It's a thing.
An
Adjective.
adjective.
Yes. I finally remembered the name of that song. When did you remember? And remember,
Finally.
it's your action word.
Finally.
So it's adjective or adverb.
Adverb.
Good work. Kaylee's secret dream is to become a dancer. What type of dream? We know dream is a person, place, or thing. It's not an action word, so it has to be adjective. So this is a little tougher than the other ones, right? He spoke happily. Is speaking an action word? So that's a verb.
It's an action word.
That's a verb, so it's an action word. So happily describes the verb, which makes it have to be an adverb. Super fun stuff, right? The gray clouds move slowly in the sky. Is moved an action or a verb?
It's an action.
Yeah, so it has to be an adverb because slowly modifies slowly modifies the verb, which
It's
is
one of them.
Mr. Ryan finally completed the fence in the front yard.
It's an action, finally.
Yeah.
It's an adverb.
Adverb, baby. Be certain to write a thoughtful note. What type of a note?
Thoughtful.
Thoughtful is note a verb or a
It's an action.
noun?
Adverb.
Well,
Number one answer, adverb.
be certain to write. Writing is the verb there. A note.
Right.
If I write you a note, that's just a thing. Okay? So
Mhm.
that's got to be an adjective.
I said it wrong.
All right, my friends. So, you guys, I will give you all of the crazy amount of attachments that go with adjectives and adverbs, okay? And we're going to do our best to try and get those. If you need any more help, we'll probably look some more tomorrow on them, okay? Because these are not the easiest things in the world, but I think what you see is practice makes
Progress.
not perfect, but it makes good, okay?
Progress.
So, yeah, practice makes progress. I like that. So we're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
cut
a
it.
Karius saying.
I like that. We are going to cut it at 11:57, so you guys can go and work independently. Okay.
Excellent.
All right, my friends. I will see you mañana, which is tomorrow, and it's a sad day, but it's our last day.
Why is it gonna storm?
I hope it's not going to storm. All right, my friends. I'll talk to you.
Bye.
See you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Okay, see.
All right. Bye-bye.